Hello everyone. By request of the developers, in this video I'll be doing a performance review of the Origin JumpWorks 325A. The 325A, according to CIG's description, is capable of coming out on top in any dogfight in the hands of a capable pilot. It features an advanced weapon payload and a custom targeting system. The developers stated recently when discussing the Buccaneer that the 325A won't deliver as heavy of a hit, but has interior accommodations that other ships don't. Now that we've heard what the developer vision for the 325A is, let's discuss how it actually performs. For this, we've decided to use the Sabre as a comparison point, as the 325A falls into its weight class. Not as light as a Racer, but not quite as heavy as a Hornet. Also, because the Sabre was created by CIG so recently, it's believed that it reflects performance closer to what is envisioned for the future, while the 300 series actually already has a planned update pass. The 325A and the Sabre both have identical top speeds. This makes their comparative accelerations very easy to determine using both XML and in-flight tests. According to XML statistics pulled from the game files courtesy of Malagos, compared to the Sabre, the 325A has slightly better forward and backward responsiveness and slightly worse lateral and vertical responsiveness. Responsiveness refers to how quickly a ship can correct its vector and is a function of both acceleration and jerk limitations. Bayer's flight tests mostly confirm this, though the practical difference is pretty negligible between the two ships, except when it comes to non-boosted forward and retro responsiveness, which actually is in favor of the 325A. The ships are also incredibly similar in terms of rotation. The Sabre can pitch and yaw at 100 degrees per second and roll at a whopping 140 degrees per second. The 325A can pitch and yaw at 95 degrees per second and roll at 130 degrees per second. From this, we can infer that during the most recent changes to the 325A and 2.4, that perhaps the developers intended to make the 325A perform similarly to the Sabre, but slightly worse. Where the Sabre really outclasses the 325A is in durability and firepower. For durability, the Sabre, during tests, takes only about 61% of the damage that the Sabre does when taking shots center mass. For weaponry, the 325A is undeniably the loser, hosting only one size 3 and two size 2s for a weapon score of 7, compared to the Sabre's weapon score of 12 obtained from having 4 size 3s. Indeed, it is my opinion that if CIG seems to be moving toward allowing the newer light fighters to carry multiple size 3, or even size 4 in the case of the Buccaneer, then the weaponry on ships like the 325A, Gladius, and Avenger need to be revisited. For missile store, the Sabre's ability to carry 6 size 2 missiles beats the 325A's ability to carry 4. Now, comparing the two ships requires you to consider that the 325A is a modified civilian luxury vehicle, that its crew comforts are oddly considered to be a balancing factor by CIG, that it can carry cargo, and that some features like the targeting system are not able to be evaluated yet. The Sabre also has its stealth mechanics as a feature that cannot be evaluated yet. Finally, there's the price. The 325A sells for $70 US, while the Sabre is $170 US. Then there's the bugs. There are random handling malfunctions that occur with the 325A, including the non-responsive vector correction issue the Gladius has, but they are fairly rare, which is surprising given the age of the model being used. I expect these issues to be cleared up during the scheduled update pass. So, does the 325A live up to its developer description? Is it deadly in the hands of a capable pilot? In my opinion, yes, and I wish other light fighters like the Gladius had maneuvering performance and rotation rates comparable to it. I do think, however, that because newer ships like the Sabre and Buccaneer all have a completely different level of hardpoints available to them, I wouldn't expect the 325A to really ever be used in its intended role, which is as an interdiction fighter. It simply won't have the firepower or durability to contend with heavily armed ships. I think it could, however, possibly be used for other purposes like smuggling. But if someone really wanted to interdict other players, I do not see why they would choose the 325A over Buccaneer, Sabre, or even a 350R. The 350R, by the way, gets a ton of speed and acceleration over the 325A while sacrificing little durability, but, in my opinion, not much. The 350R has enough of a speed and maneuverability advantage that it completely outclasses ships like the 325A, even in the area of dogfighting, which the 325A variant is supposedly designed for. Anyway, that's my opinion. Those are my thoughts on the 325A. If you disagree or have thoughts on the matter, please leave them in the comments below, and fly safe.
User left your channel.
Close one.